Now what you'll see that I did there is I pressed that, I'm just going to scroll down a little bit so you can see a bit more clearly. I pressed that pause button there. I'm just going to turn the sound off so you can hear me. So if I press play now, you'll see that the video has started to play. If I press that pause button, you'll see that it's paused. So that's how you can stop and start it easily. We're now going to have a look at some of the other features on the BBC iPlayer application or website. There are, as I've said previously, lots of other streaming services, but they all have very similar buttons, even if the icons are slightly different or even if they're called something slightly different. So let's take a look. So at the moment I've just paused this, but what I can do if I want to go backwards is press this little sort of 3/4 circle here with an arrow and 20, and that means I can go back 20 seconds. So if I've misheard something or I didn't quite catch it, I can just left click, or if I'm using a phone, press this button and I go backwards 20 seconds. You can see there it just jumped. And likewise, if I press this one, this 3/4 circle with an arrow, left click it with 20 seconds, I'll go forward. So, and I can also go forward again. Now this is quite handy, say if you just want to maybe go through some adverts or something like that quite quickly. So those are go back and forward 20 seconds. Let's look at some of these other buttons over here. So what we're going to start off is by pressing this button here, which is enter full screen. Now when I press enter full screen, what will happen is the image will take up the whole of the screen. So let's just left click this, and if you're using a phone, you just press it. And you'll see there it's taken up the whole screen. So this is really handy if you don't want any other distractions and you want a nice big picture, nice big image to watch. Let's say I want to come out of that. So on a smartphone, you usually sort of tap the screen and then you can exit it. If you're using a laptop or desktop device, what you sometimes need to do is press the escape key. It usually has ESC on it. So if I now press that, I'm out of it. I've got the option of open picture-in-picture mode here, which means that it just comes down here small. I don't often use that, but some people occasionally do if there's something else going on in the background. Then if we look at this button here, this is the settings cog. So lots of programs have specific sort of settings and you can change things, and usually that's the icon for settings is a cog. So if we just left click the cog, so we've got a list here of choice of options, so I can auto play next item automatically. So if I uncheck that, what will happen is the BBC iPlayer will in the future make it so that stuff doesn't automatically play. So if I don't want this to keep going on and on and on, because what it'll do is put the next program on that it thinks I'm interested in, maybe something else to do with the news, it'll just keep going on. Don't want that to happen, I can press that. There's also a button around video quality. Occasionally, if you've got poor broadband, so poor internet, one of the things that you can do if your speed is not very high is maybe choose a lower video quality. And that might help to make things a bit better. It might help make it a little less buffery, a little less slow, stop sort of the windows from sort of not playing anything or playing it very slowly. So that's the settings cog. And then the final one we're going to look at is this logo here that looks like sort of a speech bubble. Now this is for subtitles, what are sometimes called closed captions. So if I left click this, you'll see automatically, well, it's sort of just behind my head here, some subtitles came up. If I left click that again, so I left click that bar there, then they go away. So if I left click that bar there, then they go away. If I click that speech bubble, it comes up. I can also pick different sizes. So if I pick that really big capital letter A and small letter A there, the size goes really big, or I can have it so it's really small, and that's almost disappeared behind my head there on the screen. So that is the basic sort of functions beyond just play and pause that you can use. And as I said, a lot of streaming services use very similar functions.